Welcome back to the Relaxing Ghost channel here on YouTube. As always, your host with the most, Ghost. We got the Nature Boy Ric Flair Definitive Collection DVD review for you here today. Take some time and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Ric Flair, who recently was in the hospital for, I believe he's still in the hospital. He's doing much better as reports have come out. Ric Flair is only 68 years old now. He's definitely getting up there in age, but, we don't want to lose Rick at this time yet, and I definitely think it's time we bust out another Nature Boy review. This is a good one, guys. So I hope you really enjoy it. We got the Nature Boy Ric Flair. Awesome DVD set. I love the cover. It's, one of these photo finish, matte finish, I believe they call it, where it's really smooth and all that. It's not like your, traditional basic DVD. It's like a picture on top of a, more delicate card. So I love the blue and the yellow. Ric Flair is definitely one of my favorites. One of the greatest of all time, regarded as. So open her up, and here we got it. Ric Flair with the classic NWA Globe title, as they have called it over the years. To be the man, you gotta beat the man. I love this simple yet pretty cool design they have wrapped around this set. Just little things like that just make it look so much better. So we got it's hard to tell who that is. Flair and Piper, I think that is, from the Rumble 92. We got Ric Flair and the robe. Ric Flair and Triple H, then Ric Flair and Steamboat. I believe that's from Clash in New Orleans. And we got Ric Flair and Triple H, both in the figure 4 leg locks. I just love how they do that, like before and after shots. And not much has changed with Rick over the years. His master of psychology, cheat to win if you have to, win if you can, lose if you must, but always cheat, to quote the great Bobby Heenan. The dirtiest player of the game, the Nature Boy, the 16-time World Heavyweight Champion, Ric Flair. The master of the figure 4 leg lock. Awesome. So what this is here is a 3-disc DVD set. And it has an awesome, full-length doc. Probably it's definitely over 2 hours. It might be 2.5 hours. But this is a 2008 release. 8-hour running time. And we got a great shot of Ric Flair from WrestleMania 24. His final match in WWE. That's one of my favorite WrestleMania stages. Whoa! So they go from his beginnings, growing up and all that, the plane crash of 1975, and he broke 3 vertebrae in his back. They said he would never wrestle again. And 6 years later, he won his first World Heavyweight Championship from Harley Race. then later adopted the Nature Boy character and gimmick. He became known as the NWA Traveling Champion. Slick Rick, he was the definition of what a champion should be. The Four Horsemen came to be in 1985, I believe. They go through his clash with Sting, Ricky Steamboat, Terry Funk, from Jim Crockett Promotions to WCW in 1988. The real world champion in the early 90s, going to WWE. His troubles with WCW. Going to WWE in 91, 92. And then back in 01 Survivor Series the night after. Forming Evolution with Triple H, Batista, and Randy Orton. WrestleMania 24 weekend. And the Farewell to Flair. That covers the whole doc. Special features, his distractions, his buying his boots, bleaching his hair, hanging out with the Outlaws, Dusty Rhodes, and Dick Murdoch. Rick's relationship with the members of Evolution, and the keys to the city, Orlando, Florida. Extras include the Ric Flair tribute video. So disc 2, we go through some matches here. Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling, 1982. Jack Briscoe and Ric Flair. WCCW, 2 out of 3 falls match for the NWA World Championship versus Kerry Von Erich. Ric Flair and Harley Race from Mid-Atlantic, 1983. Worldwide Wrestling, 1985. I believe Worldwide Wrestling was a show from Jim Crockett. We got Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, and Ole Anderson versus Dusty Rhodes, Magnum TA, and Manny the Bull Fernandez. Clash of Champions, the first one from 1988. Ric Flair and Sting go into the 45-minute draw. Great American Bash, 89. Ric Flair and Terry Funk for the NWA Championship. Disc 3, Madison Square Garden, 1991. Ric Flair and Roddy Piper. That might be one of Ric Flair's first appearances on WWF television after leaving Crockett. 94, for Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat from Spring Stampede. I believe that's when he won it back, and then they would merge the international WCW title with the WCW World title. Taboo Tuesday 2005, steel cage match for the WWE IC title, Ric Flair and Triple H, and his career-threatening match for Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 24. Special features on Disc 3 include the Ric Flair Farewell from Raw after WrestleMania 24. Promos. The limousine ride and jet flying style and profiling from NWA World WCW from May of 85. Space Mountain from WCW June of 85. We got The Boss from August 85. Slick Rick from September 85. Real Men Staying Up All Night. Another one from September 85. What's Causing All This? December 85. And the Space Mountainettes from April 87. And the Golden Spoon, 11/13/87. So it's just very basic in here, but like I said, they decorated it very nice. And classic shot of Ric Flair with the purple robe. Show you the disc art, and I really like how they did this. Very basic, like I said, but just that little bit of yellow design really adds a lot. And when you look behind the discs, here's what they say. Limousine riding, jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, woo! Son of a gun. I think that's pretty cool. You know, yeah, they could have put various shots of Ric, which I've also would have liked. You know, see Ric from the early 80s as the NWA Globe Champion. Shot of Ric Flair in, 92, 93 as the WCW Champion. And then we could have had a current shot of Flair, but, this is definitely fine. I have no problem with this. They could have done, the same thing with the discs, but I'm also fine with it. Yellow and blue, no problem with that. It shows like the level of class and things like that which Ric Flair had throughout his career with the style of the robes and the watches and the limos and the jets and all this and that and the other. It just shows like you don't need to show basic photos of Ric Flair. You just have to have, some beautiful artwork on this, and I definitely think it's fine. I love it. It's one of my favorites, sets they done with, the matte finish or whatever you want to call it, but let me know your thoughts on this set, guys. I'm definitely going to give it a thumbs up. Highly recommend you guys pick this one up. I'll eventually do a review of Ric Flair and the Four Horsemen. We'll talk to you guys later. Peace!